In fact, construction and demolition waste is the largest waste stream in the United States by weight. Every year, America generates more than 600 million tons of construction debris, more than double the amount of household trash. If all of that material were dumped into landfills, cities would run out of space, costs would explode, and environmental damage would be enormous. So instead of burying it, America recycles it. Before we step inside this massive hidden industry, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our deep dive documentaries into the systems that quietly keep modern cities alive. The idea of recycling construction waste is not new, but its scale today is unprecedented. Decades ago, demolished buildings were simply hauled away and dumped. But as urban landfills filled up and material costs rose, rubble began to look less like trash and more like opportunity. Concrete is rock, steel is steel, asphalt is reusable oil-based material, wood still contains energy and structure. What changed was technology. Today, the construction waste recycling industry operates like a hybrid between a quarry, a factory, and a logistics hub. The journey begins at demolition sites. When a building is taken down, it is no longer smashed blindly. Modern demolition is carefully planned. Excavators equipped with hydraulic jaws, crushers, and shears tear structures apart layer by layer. Steel beams are cut and separated. Concrete slabs are broken into manageable pieces. Materials are loaded directly into trucks, often already pre-sorted to increase recycling efficiency. These trucks do not head to landfills. They head to C&D recycling facilities, massive industrial plants designed to process thousands of tons of rubble every single day. As trucks arrive, every load is weighed, logged, and inspected. Some facilities handle over 2,000 tons per day, operating almost continuously. What enters the plant looks like chaos. Broken walls, twisted metal, shattered glass, splintered wood. What leaves the plant are clean, graded construction materials ready to build new cities. Inside the facility, the real transformation begins. Rubble is dumped onto enormous concrete floors and fed into primary crushers. These machines are the size of small buildings. Steel jaws slam together with incredible force, breaking chunks of concrete and masonry into smaller pieces. As the material moves along conveyor belts hundreds of meters long, it passes through a series of sorting stages. First comes metal separation. Powerful industrial magnets pull out steel rebar, beams, and fasteners. Eddy current separators fling aluminum and non-ferrous metals away from the main stream. What once held buildings together is now clean scrap metal, ready to be melted and reused. Next comes screening and sizing. Vibrating screens shake the crushed material, separating it by size. Fine particles fall through, larger stones move forward. Each size fraction has a purpose. Nothing is random. Concrete and brick are transformed into recycled aggregate. This material replaces freshly mined stone in road bases, foundations, drainage layers, and even new concrete mixes. In some regions, up to 80% of demolished concrete is reused in new infrastructure projects. Roads are literally rebuilt from the rubble of the old ones. Asphalt follows a similar path. Old road surfaces are milled, crushed, and screened. The result is reclaimed asphalt pavement, or RAP. This material is blended with fresh asphalt to pave new roads. Asphalt is one of the most recycled materials in America, with reuse rates exceeding 90%. Every mile of recycled asphalt reduces the need for new oil and stone. Wood waste moves to a different zone. Clean lumber is separated for reuse. Beams, planks, and timbers that are still structurally sound may be resold or repurposed. Damaged wood is ground into chips. These chips become mulch, biomass fuel, animal bedding, or raw material for engineered wood products. Even painted or treated wood is handled carefully to ensure contaminants are controlled. Drywall, or gypsum board, is another major component of construction waste. Inside recycling plants, drywall is crushed and separated into paper and gypsum powder. The paper is recycled. The gypsum is reused to manufacture new drywall or applied as a soil amendment in agriculture, where it improves soil structure and nutrient balance. Glass, plastics, insulation, and mixed debris are further sorted using air classifiers, optical scanners, and manual quality control. Modern plants combine heavy machinery with human oversight to achieve recovery rates that would have been impossible decades ago. By the time a load finishes its journey through the facility, 60 to 90% of the original material has been diverted from landfill. What remains is a small fraction of truly unrecyclable waste. The scale of this industry is staggering. Across the United States, thousands of C&D recycling facilities operate in parallel. Together, they divert hundreds of millions of tons of material every year. The economic value runs into tens of billions of dollars, not just in recycled materials, but in avoided landfill costs, reduced mining, and lower transportation emissions. This recycling system is not optional. In many states and cities, construction projects are legally required to recycle a minimum percentage of debris, often 50 to 75%, and sometimes more. Green building standards like LEED award points for high recycling rates, pushing developers to design with material recovery in mind from the start. The environmental impact is enormous. Recycling concrete reduces the need to quarry natural stone. Recycling steel saves up to 75% of the energy required to produce new steel from ore. Reusing asphalt cuts oil consumption dramatically. Landfill space is preserved. Carbon emissions are reduced at every step. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of this industry is how invisible it remains. Cities rise, fall, and rise again. People see new buildings, new roads, new bridges. They rarely see the journey of materials between those moments. They don't see yesterday's office tower becoming today's highway foundation. They don't see last year's road resurfacing become the base for tomorrow's neighborhood. And yet, without this hidden recycling network, modern cities could not function. Construction waste recycling turns destruction into creation. It closes the loop between old and new. It allows urban growth without endless extraction. It proves that even the heaviest, messiest waste streams can be transformed with enough engineering, coordination, and scale. From shattered concrete to smooth highways, from twisted steel to new skyscrapers, from rubble to rebirth, this is the supergiant construction waste recycling industry. It doesn't just recycle debris, it rebuilds cities. If you enjoyed this journey into one of America's most powerful hidden industries, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We'll continue uncovering the massive systems that turn waste into the foundations of modern life. Thanks for watching, and stay curious. Every single day, without headlines or attention, an invisible army of wooden platforms moves the American economy forward. They don't have engines, they don't have screens, they don't make noise. Yet without them, supermarkets would empty in days. Factories would grind to a halt, and global trade would collapse. These are pallets, and in the United States, they are everywhere. More than 2 billion pallets are currently in circulation across America. Every year, nearly 500 million new pallets are built. Together, they carry close to 80% of all physical goods moved inside the country, from food and medicine to construction materials, electronics, and online orders shipped to millions of homes. This is the story of the supergiant pallet factory, the hidden industrial system that builds the backbone of global trade. Before we step inside this massive manufacturing world, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our deep dive documentaries into the industries that quietly power modern life. To understand why pallets matter so much, we need to go back in time. For thousands of years, goods were moved by hand, in baskets, crates, and barrels. Loading and unloading ships or wagons could take days. Everything changed during the early 20th century, and especially during World War II. As global logistics became critical, the military needed a faster way to move massive amounts of supplies. Forklifts and standardized wooden pallets emerged as the solution. The pallet revolutionized logistics. Goods could be stacked, lifted, and moved in seconds instead of hours. After the war, this system spread into civilian industry. Factories, ports, and warehouses adopted pallets as the new standard. By the late 20th century, pallets had become the silent foundation of global trade. Today, that foundation is built at an astonishing scale. Across the United States, thousands of pallet factories operate year-round. Some are small regional sawmills. Others are supergiant pallet plants, capable of producing tens of thousands of pallets every single day. These factories don't just build wood platforms, they manufacture efficiency. The journey of a pallet begins far from the factory floor, deep in managed forests across the country. Unlike furniture-grade lumber, pallets are built from low-grade, fast-growing wood, primarily southern yellow pine and mixed hardwoods. These trees are grown specifically for industrial use, harvested sustainably, and replanted continuously. Logs arrive at sawmills and are cut into rough lumber. Boards are dried in massive kilns to reduce moisture content and prevent warping. From there, the wood is transported to pallet factories, where raw material becomes industrial infrastructure. Inside a supergiant pallet factory, scale is everything. Stacks of lumber tower overhead. Conveyor belts stretch the length of football fields. Automated saws scream as they cut boards to precise dimensions. Each pallet requires a specific combination of deck boards, stringers, or blocks, and nails, all engineered to handle enormous weight. A standard American pallet may weigh 30 to 50 pounds, but it can support loads of 2,500 to 3,000 pounds, and sometimes more. That strength comes from design precision and manufacturing consistency. The production process starts with board cutting. High-speed saw lines slice raw lumber into deck boards and stringers at incredible speed. Computer-controlled systems optimize every cut to minimize waste. Even small offcuts are collected for reuse or recycling. Next comes assembly, the heart of the factory. In older plants, pallets were built entirely by hand. Today, in supergiant factories, automated pallet assembly lines dominate. Boards are fed into machines that position them perfectly. Pneumatic nail guns fire dozens of nails per pallet, driven with precise force and depth. Each pallet can be assembled in under 30 seconds. Some lines produce one pallet every 6 to 8 seconds, non-stop, hour after hour. As pallets roll off the assembly line, they are inspected for alignment, nail placement, and structural integrity. Faulty pallets are rejected instantly. Only pallets that meet strict load-bearing standards move forward. For pallets used in food, pharmaceuticals, or international shipping, an additional step is required: heat treatment. To comply with international regulations, pallets must be treated to eliminate pests and pathogens. Inside massive heat treatment chambers, pallets are heated to 56 degrees Celsius for at least 30 minutes, monitored by digital sensors. This process ensures pallets are safe to cross borders and enter sensitive supply chains. Once treated, pallets are stacked into tall, uniform towers, sometimes 25 pallets high, banded and staged for shipping. Forklifts move continuously, loading flatbed trucks bound for warehouses, factories, ports, and distribution centers. But pallet manufacturing in America doesn't stop at building new pallets. What makes the U.S. pallet industry truly unique is its repair and reuse ecosystem. Every year, hundreds of millions of pallets are damaged by forklifts, heavy loads, or rough handling. In many industries, damaged products would be discarded. Pallets are different. Across America, pallet repair facilities operate alongside manufacturing plants. These centers collect broken pallets from retailers, factories, and warehouses. Skilled workers inspect each pallet, replacing damaged boards, reinforcing stringers, and extending pallet life. A single pallet can be repaired and reused 10 to 15 times. This dramatically reduces the need for new wood and saves millions of trees every year. When pallets reach the end of their usable life, they are not wasted. Broken pallets are sent to grinding facilities, where industrial shredders reduce them into wood chips. Magnetic separators remove nails and metal, which are recycled separately. The wood chips are then used for mulch, animal bedding, biofuel, biomass energy, and engineered wood products. This is why more than 90% of wooden pallets in America are reused, repaired, or recycled, making pallets one of the most successfully recycled wood products in the world. Behind the scenes, technology continues to reshape the industry. Modern pallet factories use AI-powered vision systems to detect defects. RFID tracking monitors pallet circulation across supply chains. Software systems optimize inventory, predict demand, and reduce downtime. Some facilities even track the carbon footprint of every pallet produced. Economically, the pallet industry is massive. It supports hundreds of thousands of jobs, from forestry and sawmilling to manufacturing, logistics, and recycling. Pallets enable the movement of goods worth hundreds of billions of dollars every day. Without them, modern e-commerce, just-in-time manufacturing, and global distribution would not exist. Yet pallets remain almost invisible to consumers. You rarely see them in advertisements. They don't appear in tech headlines. But every product you buy, food, furniture, electronics, almost certainly traveled on a pallet at some point. The next time you walk through a warehouse, a grocery store, or receive a delivery at your door, remember this: beneath every box is a platform built in a factory you've probably never thought about, by an industry that never stops moving. The supergiant pallet factory doesn't make luxury goods. It doesn't chase trends. It builds something far more important: the foundation that allows everything else to move. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden backbone of global trade, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. We'll continue exploring the massive systems and factories that quietly keep the world running. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.